Well, hi again, you guys. Welcome to another edition of Curtis Collects Vinyl Records. We're going to have some fun with this one, trust me. We're going to play an awesome song by the great Doc Severinsen. So, who knew? But I have a nice subset of Doc Severinsen records in my collection. Then we're going to get to this one, which I think is one of this, for pure uniqueness, is just so incredible. Alright, where do we start? So this is what we normally do. We're going to talk about Doc Severinsen. We all know him. And we'll go through the records that I have in my collection. And they are incredible. So let's start with what he's most noted for as the band leader of the Tonight Show, what I call the Tonight Show Band. I don't think it's really an orchestra. And here it is. This was their world premiere performance, all digital recording. It's on vinyl, of course. And boy, it was the best. It's the best group of musicians on the West Coast during this era when they were warming up the audience and in between commercial breaks on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Wow, so in demand these guys were. Tommy Newsom. The great Ed Shaughnessy on drums. So in demand these guys were that when Steely Dan was making Asia, they tapped Pete Christlieb for the fantastic saxophone solo on one of the great iconic songs on Asia. So quite. And so glad that they put out records. They decided to go into the studio and make these things. This is really, really great. Here it is. This is the Tonight Show Band Volume 2 with Doc Severinsen. Of course, there's Johnny hamming it up right up front. Oh my God, that's just absolutely classic. So they go into the Conway Recording Studios. It's got to be somewhere in Burbank or LA. And the list is long and distinguished on who plays in this. I call it an orchestra, but it's a band. Here it is. This goes way deeper than that on the great Command label, a division of Pickwick. Here's Doc Severinsen and his orchestra. Torch Songs for Trumpet. God, how old is this thing? 1978. Just doing some really, really great songs on that. Here he is. Henry Mancini, Doc Severinsen. Brass on Ivory. This is a classic. The theme from Brian's Song is on here. The movie about the Chicago Bears player who passed away very young, who was the running back mate with the Gale Sayers. Wow, this is fantastic. Here it is. Tempestuous Trumpet, Doc Severinsen and his orchestra. Also on Command. I bought this at a garage sale this summer, and it barely doesn't want to open. Almost. I don't really want to crack that thing. All right, so let's get to this record that we're gonna play. So this is so utterly unique. It's the only photo that I know that's on an album that is the entrance here, part of the building of the one of the most famous recording studios on the planet ever. I'm sure it's gone now, or it's no longer a studio, but it's Olympic Studios. Talk about Led Zeppelin. Talk about every record. I even think the Eagles went there, working with Glenn Johns when they were putting out their records. But everybody wanted to make a record at Olympic. So here it is. It's an old converted church or studio or something. And here's Doc going in here. This is his record, the London Sessions. Doc Severinsen with the National Philharmonic Orchestra. Digitally recorded. And speaking of Steely Dan, we're going to play the cover version that they do of Peg. And bear with me, it starts out a little corny and then it gets awesome. So here we go. Hope you guys like it. Doc has got it. Hope you guys appreciate that. I certainly love it. Let me name check the guys who play on this. On top of the National Philharmonic Orchestra of London. Here you've got Biff Hannon, keyboards, graduate of the Eastman School of Music. He performs regularly with Buddy Rich Band and has also been playing with Maynard Ferguson. Tom Breckline on drums, established studio player and drummer with Chick Corea. Jim Johnson on bass. He's an in-demand guy. John Goux, G-O-U-X, session guy from L.A. And Charles Underwood was the producer. Early in his career was the A&R director for the legendary Sun Records label of Elvis fame, and Charlie Rich, and a bunch of other stuff. So, wow. I thought that was worth making an episode about the great Doc Severinsen here down at Curtis Collects Vinyl Records. That's how it works. It's about the passion. It's about digging deep. It's about the studios and the records and what was made there and the connections between Doc Severinsen, Olympic Studios, Pete Christlieb, who played on Asia, and Steely Dan and Peg. That's connecting the dots. That's what I love. Hope you guys appreciate this, my passion. That's what's coming through, I hope. And I know you guys are passionate too in following along here and putting up with the inaccuracies, but the passion overrides it all. And hope to see you guys back here again soon. This was another edition of Curtis Collects Vinyl Records.